mini Nahas here.
Statsman Febby.
Yeah.
I think they have to take the Alk here. I think unless they have a set idea of how to beat this Alchemist, it was too strong last game. I think even if you kind of contest him in the early game, he's going to get a Radiance, and they give up the Alchemist.
They have a different idea. It's the Tiny who OG had last game as well. I mean, as far as heroes that look the best of the best, I feel like Tiny is in that category as well.
Yeah, it's just so versatile. It can play as support, but nowadays we see it more on core with the tree volley. Just coupled with some AoE stuns, this tree volley can do a lot of damage late game.
Yeah.
The scary thing about this Alchemist is most Alks are going at least one Bracer, if not two, which means that he's not going to die to this Tiny Goblin if it's a core Tiny. Maybe with the ET Aura, the magic.
Yeah.
But even then, I think it's kind of pushing it.
We could see some of those combos around ET, like the ET Gyrocopter where you run people down with the magic damage. Of course, OG now have 2 bans to protect themselves from some of the heroes they're worried about.
Probably they're going to ban the Void.
Yeah, that's the other hero.
And the Gyro. I think those are probably the top 2 priorities for OG.
Ember's pretty up there too, I think, for LGD.
Lifestealer is okay. As we said, like last game, it's good against the creeps. You can eat the creeps. It's decent against the Alchemist, I think.
It does not abuse the ET Aura though. I think like you gotta ban those heroes that abuse the ET Aura. I can see them picking up Jakiro too, but it's not worth banning for OG. But
he's a Radiant Spire. And that's ET Aura, magic, and physical. I think the one scary thing about the, or like not scary thing about the Lifestealer though, is like he doesn't do enough damage until later in the game for this Alchemist, like, you know, post 30-35 minutes. And before then, this Alk-Chen, I think, is going to run them over. Like we saw last game, this Alk had such a fast Radiance, and the game just feels over like 15 or 20 minutes, right? There's that one Roche fight, or the river fight. Shadow Demon's level 5, the Alk gets like 3 kills. Sven tries to hit creeps, but now this Alk's like double his net worth. And the game feels really over.
Yeah.
And Lifestealer's gonna be in the same position, right? Like sure, like him, like the Sven can scale against this Alk. You know, 3-4 items, maybe 5, they're gonna be evenly matched, but this Alk's gonna have 3 items on you, and at that point,
well, yeah, how do you beat it? And the Chen synergy with the Alk is not just the amplified healing, it's you've got this hero in the jungle that's stacking for the Alchemist, can stack with his hero, can stack with his creeps. Something OG are very efficient about getting Ana as much farm as possible when he's playing Alchemist.
One of the issues with like this multi-thing stacking is you can only micro so much, right? So it's like you can kind of try to get like 2-3 camps as well, but it's kind of hard. So I think what a lot of teams can do is they give away the Chen creeps to their other players. So he can give like 2 creeps to this Alk, and the Alk can also stack 2 other camps, you know?
Yep.
And they're just maximizing their efficiency.
And it's the Gyro ban, so PSG.LGD do have Faceless Void open to them if they want to go for it. Name has played a decent number of games on the Void. He is comfortable on the hero.
yeah, it's one of Ame's favorite heroes.
They also, LGD banned the Darkseer. It worked. It was so good with the Alk last game. He's getting Surge early game. He's already fast from ult. He's already a fast hero. He has phase boots, and he has a Surge. He's running, you know, like 600 movement speed, 700 movement speed.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny because like 2 days ago, Darkseer was untouched, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't picked at all. Now, OG's just bringing it back.
He was one of, I think, the last 5 or 6 heroes unpicked or unbanned, unpicked at least in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and then he got picked by Secret, maybe?
Secret or Liquid?
Liquid. It was Liquid with
yeah.
mind control.
Yeah. I think it's coming back a little more because teams are, I think, valuing Ember a little more than they were the past couple days. Alchemist is also getting up there, and Tiny. And Darkseer with those 3 melee heroes in particular are really good for the 15 to 25 minute mark. Ember, for obvious reasons, his ult's faster. His Flame Guard just becomes a better Flame Guard with the Iron Shell. Alk for what we said, and Tiny just because he gets you in position, and that's all Tiny needs. He needs to get in position for these toss avalanche combos and dealing a lot of damage.
Shadow Demon is picked up by PSG.LGD, giving them SD ET support duo. One of them will be FYs. Do you think that's more likely to be the Shadow Demon getting the
probably the
here?
Shadow Demon.
Also a block pick. If they wanted the Void, you want to take that SD away from OG, I feel, because that's the save that teams often want to be picking and playing against the Faceless Void.
It's also good against the Alk if you're really far behind, because if you make illusions of him and he has a Radiance AC, you'll get both the ores on your own team.
Well, the trick we've been seeing is you can turn the Radiance off while you're disrupted.
You can't turn off AC.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they can turn off the Radiance.
Backpack it, but there's also
Yeah. But as far as the Radiance goes, I feel like the SC, we're seeing all these Alks now just, you know, you can spam it and turn it off inside the disruption.
Tida turn made it to the 2nd phase.
Ooh, it's a really good Morphling game for LGD, I think.
Yeah, I saw Morphling. It's okay, I think. I think there might be a little too much pressure in the mid game for Morph, but it lanes really well against the Tide. But I think they're just gonna give on their last pick.
They needed the magical damage, so they opt for the Sand King, even though they lost with it last game.
Get the fast Veil, you've got magic damage coming out from Shadow Demon. It's synergy with the ET aura.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage for LGD.
Yeah.
I guess they were happy about how their first like 5 minutes in the offlane went with the out pressure. But as we saw, that didn't really slow his Radiance timing down significantly. You got the 4th highest, right?
Yep.
So I guess, you know, they're feeling confident. They're like rerunning what they did last game. They're probably saying, you know, maybe our mid pick or our carry pick was a little off. Maybe we gave them too much. So maybe now they're kind of thinking, what we did with our other 3 heroes is fine.
Yeah,
but we got to change up.
Has changed. It's gone from a DK to a Tiny who is kind of faster paced. It's at least a hero that can get in the Alks jungle and steal stacks, I feel. DK doesn't really farm or stacks at all.
Not until he's even level 12 right now.
Yeah.
At that point, it's too late.
So someone that can go in and to kill Alchemist, take those stacks, and OG now going to be wondering about what they're going to get.
Probably going to pick a Thompson hero right now, unless he has multiple options. Usually on this this pick right here for first pick, you want to pick the hero that you think is more important to your draft. So in this case, they pick the Rubik. And that's because they're probably going through like, yo, Jerax, do you have options? And he goes, nah, it's really, Rubik's the best. Everything else is a tier below. And they go to Thompson and they say, and he gives like, oh, both of these heroes are good, right? Because now they have the choice between 2 heroes, and only one will get banned, and the other will be good no matter what. And only this one a Rubik. So OG is going to pick up the Rubik. It's really good against Sand King. That's one of like the classic support counters to it.
Thompson definitely a player who has quite a big hero pool as far as unconventional mids go. So
The Dazzle ban, I think they're scared of the mid Dazzle.
Yeah, it's the second game of this 3-game series we've seen the Dazzle ban, so clearly something
That's interesting.
they believe OG can do. Maybe they've seen it in scrims.
Yeah, maybe I think it should be the scrims. OG played a mid dazzle and it was pretty scary, stalling out the game for the Alchemist.
It's also got synergy with the Chen. You get more healing on your team. If you ever grave the Alk, he's gonna heal back up to half health by the end time it's over.
It's a lot of minus armor too. Acid, Bush, Dazzle. A lot of minus.
Turn to pick.
Void ban, they're still scared of that.
That's the carry we expected to see in response to OG's draft with the Tiny Tree Volley as well as the Elder Titan Earth Splitter synergy. It would have been a great option for them as their last pick.
It's also one of the good people have figured out counters to Tide. That's why we see it a little less, I think, now. Because he can't, you know, break off the Chrono, right? If he gets stunned by a Chrono, he's getting stunned full duration of Chrono. It's not going to end after 500 damage like every other spell.
So the most optical Thompson hero right now would be some brawler frontline that can fight with the Tide and the Rubik and the Chen. Has damage and has deep push. He needs like all those 3 options.
Might have all those options?
I think so, right? Brawler, deep push with the Q, overwhelming odds, and like, what else did I say?
Fight with Tide.
Yeah, fight with.
Good minus armor.
It's kind of a cool pick too. It's another hero that benefits from the Chen amplified healing. It gives him a save, something that, you know, we saw PSG.LGD pick Shadow Demon to take away from OG potentially. So having a save and a second save with the Chen heals as well gives them a lot of ways to keep this Alk alive.
Also, this OG timing push at 20-25 minutes. He walks up high ground and he's going to get 100 attacks.
Last pick, Slark. Ame Slark. He brought this one back into the meta if you go back to Epicenter, and this is a pick against a lot of melee cores. This is Theorycraft is one of the better cores run against Alchemist. You guys like the last pick, Slark?
I think if they put it mid, I think it's pretty good. It lanes well against the Legion Commander. It's one of the few heroes that can kind of trade with it. And I think if they do that, Ame's going to get off to a start. He's probably going to be able to carry the game.
I think, yeah, in the late game, it's going to out-carry the Alchemist. So, but the question, of course, every time is if they can get to the late game.
Well, we're going to have to find out if they can hold, because Alchemist Chen hits that scary timing. We've seen OG. They just ran over them in that game too. Do you think they're going to get to the late game?
There's a lot of hero from OG. The RCW, what is it called?
The press the attack.
Press the attack here, the Chen Aura, Alchemist ulti here. There's a lot of hero.
All right, well, we've got Casey on stage to hear some final thoughts from one of the coaches before we get into our Game 3 decider.
That
Yeah. Absolutely perfect. That's played away, baby.
Spicy.
Can't escape your sins.
Prepare for battle.
I almost feel it.
We owe you one.
Try harder.
Absolutely perfect.
And sure enough, we go the full series. Game 3 between OG and LGD with a twist. Everybody expected the Alchemist to be taken out of the pool, and I'm not sure if anybody expected a Thompson Tidehunter? Oh, it seems like OG's bringing something different that we haven't seen yet, Blitz.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is essentially just give a hero that can frontline, run in for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You're a space maker and a playmaker at the same time. I think it's just good overall. I think the idea too behind the LC is similar to what they had with the Darkseer. Just a hero to buff up the out. You know your bread is buttered.
Yeah. And as they were talking about, the press the attack is going to be a form of heal as well, that it's going to be amped up by the Chen.
Yeah, I will say I think the Slark is a much better core than the Sven to deal with this. The idea that LGD had was, we need a hero to deal with the creeps. No, you need a hero to deal with the Alchemist.
And I feel like Tiny is like the biggest and best change to LGD's lineup to deal with this Alchemist. Seems like DK was too slow, especially when it came to taking that mid tower. The fight over the bounties begins, and OG,
I want to know how many games Ame, or maybe has been completely blanked out, involved in no kills at all.
oh, look at that. X-Nova made that read perfectly. They were planning that Anon was going to take the other bounty rune. He was going to be teleported down to bottom. And now he's going to have to use his TP scroll, and PSG.LGD managed to get 3 of the 4.
Nice hard read as Chalice going to block up the creep wave. I think my favorite change to this is making FY play the Shadow Demon instead of a hero like Jakiro. I just don't love Jakiro as a 4 position. I feel like it's very limited what you can do with that hero. FY is your Ferrari. Let him roar.
And you've got a lot of play potential, and you want this Shadow Demon to be strong against an Alchemist, right? Like, part of the way of dealing with Alchemist is heavy burst damage, and Soul Catcher gives any sort of burst damage you have, it makes it look that much better. A tiny combo plus the Soul Catcher, I'm not sure what hero doesn't die to that.
Yeah, plus the Earth Splitter, of course, percentage-based things being very nice against the Alchemist. But who knows, maybe it's just going to be a little bit too strong for them, as last game was so one-sided. I personally think that the combo is way too good, and PSG.LGD, they're banking on the fact that they knew it was coming and they had an answer for it.
They did say in that interview with 357 that they were going to be pressuring the Alchemist a lot more. We see that already with FY just getting stack after stack. X-Nova doing what No Tail was trying to do so well in game 1 with this Elder Titan, and just push back the other 2 opposing members of this dual lane and give Ame the space he needs.
Yeah, but he's already so low. He's got to be careful for the time being. Seb, once again, having pretty good lane. He's going to fight up against Ame. Doesn't seem to care too much. But now that X-Nova's here, he's got to be a little bit more cautious.
It is a pretty cool idea, right? Is that like Tidehunter and the Alchemist are very well countered by the Slark. It's just a terrible lane for a Tidehunter. So being able to get the hard counter of Legion Commander against that Slark instead, and swapping Thompson over the mid lane. We'll see.
You feel like it's a hard counter? I think
Legion Commander against Slark, I think it's relatively good.
I think when there's a save, it's really hard. Top lane, X-Nova getting quite low. The nuke from Seb. Right click from Jerax. We'll finish this off as Ame has to back out, reset himself, leaps away over the tree line. First blood going to OG.
It's good starts. That aggro dual lane, our mid lane, 12-2 for Thompson, as Somnus struggling a little bit with CS, but the wave is pushing into him. He also has an arcane rune in his bottle. The lane pushing out into the favor of the Shadow Demon and Sand King, which means there's going to be some neutraling shenanigans. We'll see how FY tries to deal with this, but a top lane, the stomp goes out. Does manage to hit at least the Rubik. Jarrett's going to be quite low. Can he finish him off? X-Nova gets him in the end. Seb will return fire and break down X-Nova.
Support for support. Bottom lane, Sand King having a very nice time of things. NS Farm hasn't been slowed down either. Courier almost goes down. One more hit would have done it for FY.
Or Thompson's just fearless here, maybe. He's going to try and put some pressure on him. Does manage to get the toss him in. Solo kill like that. You know, I thought Thompson knew better, but sure enough, he was way too low.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Thompson is it does feel like he dies the most out of any of the top mid laners.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to care too much.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this guy cares about deaths, farm. It just feels like he cares about getting into the enemy jungle, forcing you out, and being this frontliner for Ana. But that'll be a costly death as AB had such a slow start. He's already eclipsed his kill mark total from the previous game.
Seb laying down the spray when he gets pounced, while Ame in turn covers up that spray with one of his own from PG Game.
Meta, you see maybe he gave the late tip to Thompson.
Ame trying to get out of here. He does have the pounce range. They were trying to block him in with Seb, but he actually juked the wrong direction.
Rubik, have you come to study?
Oh, Somnus with this double damage.
Clearly gonna zone out this Tidehunter. Thompson does not want to be here for the time being. Creep even just running through the area just to give one more last hit to Somnus.
Stop goes out. Seb, a big nuke that's going to force the pounce away, and X-Nova may not be able to win this man fight, especially when we press the attack activated on Seb. With the level 4, it means he does have that passive to be able to bring down X-Nova. If he can get into the trees, maybe the stomp. No.
Ame's just going for the bounty runes against the Alk. This is so important. JRX is going to try to race him against these, but doesn't have lift, so he will not get here in time. Neither of them have boots, but Ame is in a much better position to pick up this rune, and it looks like PSG.LGD will get away with 3 of them.
Yeah, that is makes the best of that situation. That's all 4. See, it's only 240 gold being collected for the OG side off the bounties.
And they're gonna wait for this bottom lane.
The next label play.
Nobody wants to pick it up quite yet.
Funny part is, because they have an Alchemist, OG net worth lead is even, despite that big bounty rune advantage that PSG.LGD has. And Chalice is doing so well. 33-6, 31-6 for Somnus, who's now looking for the toss over on Tidehunter into the tier 1 tower. And Thompson, without Ravage, is going to be caught by the stomp. Body blocked up a little bit by FY. They'll build up the stacks and see if he's going to be the one to claim the last hit. In fact, he will. FY, he wants these last hits. He wants the fast ether lens.
Much better start for all of PSG.LGD this time around. A less greedy lineup too. I don't know if trying to outgreed an Alchemist is ever the play because the hero doesn't work in the same sense. He's not like a Midas builder. He's just gonna get his 10-minute, 12-minute items and win the game for you.
That's why we heard our draft panel talk about how important it was to shore up your mid game, because that's where the Alchemist is going to hit hardest. Once he has that Radiance plus AC.
From the 12 to like 25-minute mark, this guy is king. Nobody will touch this out. You have to be able to ride that out if you're PSG.LGD, and that's why they took the Slark. The Slark is meant to secure the late game. Yep. He's good against all 3 cores on the side of OG, and neither of the supports do anything against him. So the way this game looks is pretty clear cut. OG have a timing window, once again, where they're going to go down the lanes with their Legion backing up their Alk so you can't ever get stunned up. Constant purges, the heals, the Tidehunter is going to back him up too. He's going to get a Vlad's. And for PSG.LGD, it's bend, don't break. Take fights. If you lose 1 or 2, that's fine, but you can't afford to give up all your tier 2 towers like you did.
Hilarious. Look at No-Tail. He's been one by one sending out his neutral creeps to be able to pull back the wave to stop this push. But finally, he's going to be caught as the Spirit does reveal where he's at, and PSG.LGD will dive with confidence now, especially since they've already brought down at least one of his neutrals. The Hellbear is still pulling some of the creeps, though.
Okay.
And this really is the principle of getting kills into objectives, right? Is that NoTail, he understands the same thing, and he's saying, you can kill me, but if you're not taking the tower, it's fine.
It's on the run. He's pinging towards it. He's laughing about this right now.
The turn comforts of the melee creep is going to get the deny on the illusion rune while simultaneously pulling all of this into Ana. So it's not even going to return into the bottom lane. This is some next level shit from OG.
Oh my lord. I can't even believe that. He dragged the entire creep wave so that Ana gets a double wave in mid lane. He saves the bottom tower, maybe wastes his entire time, and he denies the illusion room.
Dude,
that is the most value single creep that I've seen.
I mean, I think that was the most space creating, defeating death I've ever seen. NoTail literally bought themselves like, he just killed like 3 minutes of pushing time.
Yeah, he, Pylai Dai is just in the back. He's like scribbling notes. He's like furiously trying to figure out what he did right there. That gave Ana so much gold, brought him much closer to his Radiance. Didn't have an amazing laning phase, but that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this is where PSG.LGD are going to have a change of tactics. Last time, they tried to go in for the mid push. They tried to take down that tower before taking over the jungle, but this time, a smoke directly towards Ana. Chalice leading the way with the one level first strike.
Just found that for
They're going to be able to get the disruption first. And the epicenter blow up. They're going to throw all the first damage onto them all at once. Yep, great. It's not going to be good enough here.
By the way, I was wondering why this ward right here that PSG.LGD placed, I was like, why didn't they block the camp with that?
Yeah.
And you realize because OG's gonna look for that ward. They know guaranteed that there is vision there, but by placing it up there and not blocking the ward, not blocking the camp, that's so intelligent.
Yeah.
It's gonna give Ana a little bit more space, but it's gonna open up kills a little bit more. They've got no idea about it.
Also, the combo, the way they set up that kill was just brilliant. It maximized the damage in a minimal amount of time. Right? Leading with Disruption to get off Epicenter first rather than trying to go for Burrow Strike into Epicenter where there's this delay of damage. It really killed the effectiveness of Chemical Rage there. Now, PSG.LGD will manage to get another 3 bounties. That's 9 bounties they picked up in this game for 2,400 gold. Excuse me, that's more like 12 or something.
Yeah, that's how they've kept up in this game so far.
Oh, Jerix! No, X-Nova doesn't have a TP.
He'll be stuck here for the time being. He's got to wait for the curse.
Look at him, he's sitting on top of the Spirit and taunting him. Before he's going to TP away, but FY actually catches the meanwhile top lane. Seb's going to be caught, but it's over to mid, where Jerix. You play around in the Spirit, you do a little taunting action, showing off the X-Nova, but in the end, you get caught for it.
And he loses the ward for it too. X-Nova's fine with that.
Yeah, I think he is now, for sure. How's Thompson doing in farm, by the way? He's going to be rushing double bracers into a Vlad. So those bracers are super value for Tidehunter, both because of tankiness as well as making your anchor smash more effective.
The courier's been killed too.
That is a big pickup.
But Ana talked about the pre-12-minute Radiance.
Yeah.
This time around, they've slowed down so much of his farm.
It's not even a 12-minute relic at this pace.
Last game, he had it at like 10 minutes, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Have they dewarded it yet? They still have vision of that area. Jerax is still looking. He doesn't see where it is. It was such a good ward.
It was.
It's the next level mind game. Give them the stack so that maybe it'll pay off and you'll get extra kills.
Smoke up, rotating to bottom. Seb, who's been holding on to this tower for OG, but now will pay for it with his life. The top Earth Splitter over the top. They really wanted to make sure that Legion Commander died fast, so there wasn't a chance of OG defensively rotating.
And they still haven't lost any towers on the side of PSG.LGD. No trade towards that top lane. It's still quite healthy. And this is going to create even more space for Ame. They can play into the jungle. Jerax is pinging. He thinks that they're going to smoke towards mid, which is why he preemptively places that sentry.
And a minus is almost here for Ame, plus his level 10. So both help him farm a bit faster. Somnus trying to catch Anna here, does have the toss back into the creeps. The TP, it's a slow one from FY, so there's no chance of them actually killing this, but it does force a lot of rotation. Seb is now in the same lane as Anna, not really the way they want to play things.
No, not until he has Radiance anyways, and he's still working on it right now. And that's why PSG.LGD are going for all these aggressive maneuvers. They know that they've slowed down the timing enough. Thompson isn't really getting involved in fights either. They just want to defend this mid area while he tries to catch up and farm. This is not the typical Thompson game that we see where we see him rotate into the enemy jungle. He's been a lot more farm-centric. It feels like both mid laners having swap position. Seb getting gone on at top.
They do have Jerix, though, TPing in. Telekinesis toss back on X-Nova, and Seb, as he wakes up, he'll see this as an opportunity to get some duel damage.
It's the first duel win for him in this game. But yeah, it feels like whoever has timing is playing aggressively, and whoever doesn't just prioritizes the farm. Thompson, we felt his impact in the mid game so often throughout this series alone.
Looks like they don't want to give up this tower. Chalice, he's going to show himself. Chalice with the veil out. Not actually trying to get any extra damage off the epicenter, surprisingly enough. Maybe with FY here, trying to catch somebody with the disruption, does get him. That's going to be the Chen caught. Chalice ready to go with another round of the Burrow Strike. Or even if they don't kill Seb, they'll will get a kill at the top lane. Still, though, I'm sure OG is quite happy with the space created as they took the mid tower.
Forcing Thompson out of the jungle right now, who just continues to plug away at his farm. Maybe he's going to go for... not sure.
The Radiance is here. You know that OG, the last time they picked up this Radiance, they immediately barreled into PSG.LGD.
But the timing was much better last game.
Yeah.
That was almost a full 4 minutes ago that they got it. It just delays up everything. The AC timing that he got, the BKB. He has to continue to just farm up, and PSG.LGD are in a much better spot. In fact, at this point in the game, I believe they were down 3-4K.
Oh, no! He still managed to get the long range Burrow Strike onto No-Tail, but that is a maxed out pesky tag. Still not good enough to be able to save No-Tail. Now the duel onto Chalice with the Ravage out disrupt. Stays in time. The other is still over the top. Looking to be able to get the kill on the Seb. Maybe more in Thompson. First goes down. Toss forward. Chalice, he's going to die. Somnus actually accidentally killing his offlaner, and maybe he may have just got himself killed as well as Anna chasing him down with the Radiance. Somnus is going to need another beautiful toss away. Looking for it. A little not breach, but it's going to be too long. The Avalanche cleared the gun, slowing down Somnus, and the Radiance will burn him down. No chance for a blink.
And Anna finally decides to participate with his Radiance. He understands that he's the strongest hero in the game. He's got to make his presence known. March his way towards the top lane, and it looked like it was going to be so good from PSG.LGD. They got the disruption on the Sand King. They were fighting under the Sandstorm for so long, but it sort of evens out.
Is under attack.
One of the advantages of this Chen is being able to pull people around the map, and we see that with Thompson, who gets TP back to the fountain. He's ready to go with the TP somewhere else in the map. If he felt like he wanted to go top, he could have done so.
Yeah, and for the third game in a row, OG is going to take the mid tower first. They prioritized it so heavily in their games.
Oh, Arcane Room going to be left behind, and Anna sees it. Thank you very much. That'll mean some more acid sprays.
Top, gonna be taken.
They see all these heroes rotating over. PSG.LGD really want to take the fight,
but
Seb is gonna try and get the initiation onto Somnus. The unstable concoction for the rest of PSG.LGD is on their way. There goes the duel, but Chalice gonna be able to get a two-man Burrow Strike. Ame pouncing in as well. The two-man dark back on top of everything else on top of the Somnus, and now they have Seb dead, but Anna is still so tanky. He gave him with his dying breath to press the attack. The level 4 press the attack with so much regeneration means Anna will be able to bring down X-Nova. Now he looks for more, but Chalice, he's just trying to pull the creeps away. Buyback over to the side, the buyback. Chen is here as well. X-Nova trying to catch him. FY looking for the disruption while Ame taking sacks after sacks, but he waited out the dark. He's gonna the Chalice save. Ame trying to get away the top. Anna dies, and now Thompson's gonna be run down underneath the trees as he tries to juke it around, but eventually Something's gonna be able to find him. They have the Burrow Strike there as well. Back over to Ame, managed to finish off Jerix, top of everything else. 7-14 LGD win a massive fight in the top lane.
And OG I thought that Ave was dead for sure, but they find the save for him. The follow-up, this is going to be a value shrine. I like them to continue to play faster, smoke up, attack that triangle area. You're together here as 5 right now. Looks like they're going to back out, farm through. Ame still in a really comfortable position, about to pick up his Diffusal Blade. Medallion on Chalice.
Feels a little bit like game 1 now, where OG had that net worth lead. But once LGD were finally able to reclaim it, things started snowballing heavily. We'll see if LGD can do that again, or if they're going to play it a little bit more passive this time around, because they do have so many items about to flow in. Ame almost has a Diffusal Blade. They're going to work towards Aghanim Scepter on Somnus, though he needs the full kit still.
If you're PSG.LGD, you probably want to take a fight. They've got to be a little bit cautious, though. And they did end up going to the triangle area. They just didn't smoke for it. OG, they've got the Ravage. They want to take this fight, too. Both teams feeling like they're stronger than the other.
Rare Thompson shows up as all because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He needs to be able to get on top of PSG.LGD, and he gets on top of the next Nova right away. But there's the disruption. Thompson dodges the stomp. Seth still trying to close distance, wants to be able to catch Nova, and completed his TP. Anna will stun himself. They'll surely know about the vision on the high ground now, but OG did not get the successful smoke gank that they were hoping for.
Yeah. Both teams battling it out for position right now. And now it's going to be an immediate run into the Roche pit. Feels like deja vu of game number 1.
Hey, yeah, that's because Somnus TP'd out to the bottom lane. He thought that was space as OG failed to find a kill, but now he has to run all the way across the map.
And it's got a BKB too. They should feel pretty strong here, but
oh, yeah,
they don't do it quite fast enough.
Can PSG.LGD actually take a 5-on-5 against BKB and a pipe with Ravage?
If they're looking like it, I don't think you can give this Aegis up for free, because I feel like it's going to be then a repeat of game.
Oh, if they find an opening like this, it's going to be massive. The Soul Catcher top. Again, who can survive against that combo? Certainly not Zed.
With the pipe. It looked like he was strong enough. You were wrong, friend, and now the crowd coming back alive. Zed said, where are you at? And they're responding now. Top lane. He's going to get gone on now.
He's going to use that last bit of life to kill the Observer Ward, and he does manage to pick up the Bounty Rune. So Thompson grabbing the 3 on the right. He would be huge. He still has BKB, but he doesn't. Anna thought he had more time, but that is a limited resource against PSG.LGD's aggression.
Pickoff after pickoff, they're finding close around the map. You still haven't really felt the impact of this Tidehunter either. 0-3-3. Thompson was so dominant in game number 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's
7-17. Still LGD holding that slight net worth lead against an Alchemist.
You're not feeling good right now if you're OG. Your Chen combo should be the strongest at this point. You picked up a pipe on Seb. You've got a Vlad, a Medallion on Thompson. This is almost the exact same situation as last game. They've itemized in a very similar way too, but it just doesn't really feel like they've got the same oomph.
There's so many things that I mean, Seb maxed out press the attack first, for example. Him going for the pipe, as you said, is like, they're all showing that they're trying to synergize around making this Alchemist as strong as he can be. And now Seb, he just get caught again. Thompson's gonna be here, ready to go with the Ravage. 2-man throw strike, Earth Splitter as well. Beautifully placed, that's gonna be a lot of damage to start things off. The Stomp, though, will allow them to retreat.
They're just going to back up, as they rightfully should. They don't quite have the mana for this, and it looks like they're just going to walk into Roshan again. I heard Anna, he did pop his ulti. And yep, if you toggle it off, yep, it works.
He managed to do it in time, so LGD won't have that easy way.
You just have to spam press it, I believe.
Yeah.
And it takes it off, because he definitely had Radiance turned on when he was under, when he pops out. Neither the Illusions did.
Gush, as well as the Medallion.
Oh, this is a nice room for him to pick up the Illusion. This is gonna scout out for him, stop any blinks. The initiation up from the Sand King as well.
Disruption onto the Illusion Alchemist. Not able to turn that Radiance off. They have vision of that Observer Ward as well, but everyone is a little bit too scared to be that far forward. Jarek showing himself top, Anna showing himself at bottom. LGD have a little bit more confidence that they control this mid area. The BKB soon for Ame. If OG doesn't take that Roshan soon, I fear they may miss their timing blitz.
I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out where they go from here, because once he gets the AC, that's one of the strongest power spikes in the game for this Alchemist.
Yep.
You can get items after that, but the 3-item timing of this Alch is used to be, it's so powerful. That's what they rode last game. And this game, it feels like they're still going for the same play. It's just not really there for them. It's harder for them to push into PSG.LGD's lineup. They haven't taken enough tier 1 and tier 2 towers. Thompson, I think, has had the roughest game. We're not really feeling the impact of this Tidehunter. It feels like he's having a similar performance that Maybe did. And it doesn't feel good going all these items that are meant to empower your Alchemists, and you're not winning team fights behind that hero. So they're going to go for it again.
Spirit revealing and slowing things down. Oh, until the Mud Golem stunning up Nova.
But Ame's really far away. They noticed that he wasn't there, and this might actually be...
It's a free roach. Unless. No. Something's not gonna go for it, is he? He's thinking about it. He's hovering around this area. He's gonna go for the blink, gushed up. 284, Earth Splitter going down. Challenge! He's just picked up by Anna, and now Challenge immediately punishes. He's hit by the Ravage. He drew out the disruption on top of the duel. Nova will eventually die here. Ami with his BKB. He activates it, but everybody of OG is so tanky. PSG.LGD, was this a mistake to try and challenge this Roshan FY? Trying to get away, but there's so many blinks coming in. Another round of unstable concoction catches FY. LGD lose the Roshan, and they lose 3.
I'm so surprised that they took the fight in that way. They held for so long, and then they just gave up the area. Ame decided he was going to go bottom, and then TP's back to base.
And OG
She's just going for it.
That if you give them this opening, they're going to push it in a hurry. They do have a Yagnum Scepter for Somnus. This is going to be rather important in being able to defend. He throws out the volley with the Burrow Strike. That's going to be a lot of damage to start things off. The Avalanche followed up. Seb as well as Anna knocked down to half health. But that was the buyback from the Sand King. Going to be able to finish off the Sand King. No buyback from him. There's going to be one coming out from X Nova, but these heroes are rapidly regenerating up thanks in part to No Tail and his healing aura. And Ame, he's trying to build up some medicine ship charges, more volleys into the back line as he goes, but this is looking like Anna is unstoppable. Jarek spying them the time with the Sandstorm, making sure everybody gets out except for him. And yeah, that is going to be Jarek's on top. Thinking about turning around. He doesn't have Ravage. Anna coming back in. X-Nova going to be saved by so much damage. In the end, he's going to be left alone. Somnus does manage to finish off Jarek. So support for support trade-off at LGD, still down 2.
But there's no more racks for them to take. They know there's bounty runes. They're going to reset off of that. That'll be a 2-for-1, and the racks taken. Ame's decision, and whoever's call it was on PSG.LGD, that might prove to be fatal. The decision to split up, give up that Roshan area to deal with the rest of the waves.
Yeah.
You had to have known that OG was desperate to take that Rosh.
And then in the end, once that mistake does happen, trying to cover up that mistake by fighting for the Aegis.
Yes, once Ame, I think he realized, he's like, oh man, I actually messed up. So you try to overplay. He BKBs, uses that and his ulti. Once that pops off, OG knows this Slark cannot 5-on-5 against us.
Double damage.
Well, we'll see how well LGD is going to be able to hold, because OG, you know what they want to do.
They're going to get a heart on this Alch, and the regen with the Divine Favor is going to be out of control.
Is under attack.
Percentage base heal on percentage base heal.
Yeah.
The sheer amount of health he'll have.
And again, they still don't have a Spirit Vessel either. That still would have been handled by the Legion Commander with the Press the Attack, which is another great synergy with this Alchemist. So even if he does get chain stun, they always have a way to be able to break it.
Somehow they find themselves in the exact same position they did in the previous game.
It's a little bit tougher to go high ground a second time, though.
Oh, look at this. Seb went back for drums so they could all in for it.
Nice.
He knows, he smells blood right now.
He's going to be pulled in soon.
You only go for this item, you go back for this item because you think to yourself, this game's going to be over real quick.
Yes. Somnus. They have the Sandstorm DPS, they have the volley, they have these little things they can throw out, but they have to be able to address the back line of OG, and look at where Thompson is. He's trying to break smokes right now. They're going to sneak over with the Slark, but he's been spotted by. They are going to make the entrance. 2-man Roach Strike, immediately wrapped, going down. The unstable concoction cocked up, ready to go on a challenge. Well, they flip on onto Somnus. He's trying to get the glaze in, but it just dies. The Earth Splitter goes out, but it's not enough. Ame's building up the damage. Seb has been perched up. Maybe they can finish him off. Chalice actually managed to get away, but at the same time, Ame could not commit for Seb. So in the end, it's just Somnus who died with no bite.
And that was everything that PSG.LGD had. They committed hard for that fight. They still have the epicenter, but a lot of this damage just being negated by the heart. Anna's just going to go back in.
He needs 60 gold. 60 gold for the buyback on Somnus, or 30 seconds. Which will it be, LGD? Are they going to have to give up 2 lanes of barracks against this combo? Jerix throwing down some volleys of his own. Chalice prepping the epicenter blink. He's going to be able to get the 2 in the fight. Can they actually finish him off this time? They're just so damn tanky. There's no follow-up damage. They don't have the tiny. The pipe is too strong, and Chalice sitting amongst them inside the Sandstorm, trying to push them back, but he's going to have to burrow strike away from Anna, as Anna pops another chemical rage, turns to the melee barracks. And this is going to be 2 as Ame starts picking up those stacks into the back line. This time he'll commit the BKB to finish off the chin. Couldn't stop it. And Seb actually completes the teleport in, managed to get the duel. Can they kill him? No, the BKB is still going off. He gets more and more stats. Shadow dance away. Anna looking for any target that's weak, but he has to TP away. He realizes he's low. Disruption, nothing done. He stalls up Anna, and now Anna. Oh no, the burrow strike challenge. This is not the moment to choke, my friend. But fortunately, Somnus is always there to protect you.
And Thompson in the back line has been chased. Ame with so many stats, 141 agility. They wanted to get away from that Clark. It took them a little bit too long. They do lose the melee barracks, but that's a 5-man team wide. PSG.LGD needed that desperately.
And as a result, it was quite the net worth climb for OG in these fights, but it is going to take heavily back down. As OG now only holding a 5,000 net worth, and Ame is going to start claiming some items, starting with the Shadow Blade, working towards a Silver Edge. We almost have the Solar Crest for the Dan King. Somnus now has a crit with the Crystallis. Probably just gets more and more dangerous. But OG, they only really need 1, maybe 2 more fights.
Look at OG. They're hiding so far behind Jerix. He's being patient right now. They understand that PSG.LGD with the numbers advantage is on the hunt. That's why Ame's going to go all the way around.
He's got the He's still got the extra 100 agility he's stolen from earlier. And with the Dark Pack going off, Jerix, that is not a steal that will get you away from Ame.
That's 123 agility that he still has, and the 11 perma. That's quite a bit of it.
And all the bounty rooms. That is, now look at that, 2,000 net worth. That's it.
And the gold lead is swung now the other way. These 2 Titans just swinging for the fences right now. And OG has to be careful. Every other team has proved that Mega Creeps does not end the game. If you are consistently getting wiped for just racks, that does not feel good.
At the same time, though, they know that PSG.LGD does not have buyback on their Shadow Demon, Chalice, as well as X-Nova. Do you try and force it anyway in this fight, or are you just waiting for Roshan?
I think you're waiting for Roshan. That's probably your next objective, for both teams, in fact.
Okay.
For OG, it's how you get potentially the last set of racks without having to hard commit. For PSG.LGD, getting it onto Ame so that he doesn't have to use his BKB so soon would be pretty nice. And remember that OG is still on the timer. A lot of these items that they've opted to go for, they're not meant to scale.
I mean, you said it perfectly with Seb, right?
You went back for drugs.
You go back for drugs is all inning right now.
Yeah, you think I'm going to win this fight, they're going to break, we're going to wipe them, we're going to go for the throne, I'm going to pop my drums active repeatedly. They've got like 14 auras.
Oh boy, Thompson. He's got his level 20, and he's about to finish up a Desolator. So when Roshan does spawn, they can do it super quickly. But at the same time, PSG.LGD,
Ame uses buyout gold here.
Ame,
gotta be careful. They've got a gem.
The volley, slowing down some of those supports, but they pulled in Anna, and I'm not sure PSG.LGD are ready to take a fight right now. Epicenter, oh, Chalice. Fortunately, he held onto it in a way. He stopped it, so OG don't know he used that big team fight ultimate.
Doesn't feel too good. Ame, whenever you use your buyback gold out like that, it feels so bad. Yes, you have your Silver Edge, but you don't feel comfortable fighting at this point.
Yeah. Tense game. A tense game 3 for OG
Radiant's bottom tower
and
is under
LGD.
attack.
This determines who's going to be heading to the grand finals. Will it be a repeat? Will OG beat LGD in the upper bracket finals and go all the way through to the grand finals for the second year in a row? Or will it be LGD changing history, changing the fates, the path that before them into Shanghai?
You can forget about the last TI if you win this one. This is the biggest one by far. It'll sting a lot less.
In so many ways, whether it's the prize pool or the pride of finding under your home nation.
Dire's
The only thing that matters is being the latest champion.
Dire's structures are fortified.
15 to 25, 33 minutes in. We're going to have a split push. OG, they've got 2 towers to take bottom lane. Ame plays the other side of the map. And PSG.LGD, they're not looking for a fight until Roshan. And Roshan, it's upright.
Is under attack.
Surprising that OG be willing to play the other side of the map, and maybe they feel like LGD just can't do Roshan quickly by themselves.
I think LGD is just waiting for their opportunity to just hold out another high ground assault like that.
Yeah.
That's where their Sand King's going to be the strongest too, is when OG's going to push into him. Plus, PSG.LGD, I think they make the right read on the game. They should feel like if it continues to go on, they will win. I have to imagine this is the Slaughter.
They're going to try and break him. They're going to toss him into Ame looking for the break, but no, Thompson gets off the Ravage first. On to 4. No real follow-up from OG, though, so honestly, that's good enough for LGD. Forcing out that ultimate.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, that would have been the gem. That's why Thompson was so willing to pop that.
Yeah.
Even though it might cost you another fight, not losing the gem is the key here.
So OG, say that's fine. We have time. We'll just spend 2 minutes before we take Roshan. LGD are not going to be able to force the issue themselves.
And this is going to be an Ags picked up by Ana. Wonder who he gives it to. Jerox would be a pretty good call.
Thompson now has the Desolator, and he's somewhat close to 25. This is something that Ame may have to start worrying about a little bit.
The lack of armor on Tiny?
No, just the gigantic amount of AoE damage that comes to an Anchor Smash.
How's he sarcastic?
Somnus gonna be caught. Pounce, dead. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daedalus soon for Somnus too.
Everybody has so much armor on the side of PSG.LGD.
They really do.
Oh.
This tiny 34 armor. Ame is 25 for himself.
I don't actually think they care about this Deso very much. But I feel like OG's lineup, they're kind of running out of options for what they can get.
Buyback from Seth with this stop. What's happening here? They're going to TP over to Ame, but at the same time, they're still trying to finish up Thompson. That's not going to be good enough. Just on the ground. Challenge not able to. Look at the damage down here. The BKB activated, and they quickly realize that with the BKB chemical range, Ana is too tanky to go for. X-Nova thought he was going to be able to get it. Couldn't get the gem. Gem dropped. Thompson reclaims it.
They don't want to give up the Roshan area. Ame's going to hop in. Somnus is going to bottle up that invis. Not that good because of the gem that they still happen to have, but PSG.LGD in a really good position right now. The buybacks were used by OG, but of course, as we saw throughout this game, all that really matters is who gets this Roshan.
That's why everyone's just playing around that mid lane.
They gave the Ags to the side, by the way. One of my favorite Ags in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so awkward and it's like a better version of Venge's Wave of Terror.
I mean, you've got the Gush Armor talent for it too, so that's minus 12 in a line, plus the Acid Spray, plus, you know, Solar Crests that are being thrown around on both sides. Said, look, concussion pop, the momentary stun onto Ame. Doesn't want to blow his BKB, so he pounces down River.
Building up those stacks, he's got 12 perma agi. That's much. They're looking for the back line right now. Thompson does have it.
But a 3-man road strike. The Ravage goes off though, controlling up Ame again. Down by Thompson. The big swing of the Anchor Smash. Finish him off now, Amplify. Trying to get the force tap. Disruption out. Stop going in. That's going to be Jarek. Barracks already dead. No Tail's quite low as well, but the corpus of OG going strong. The buyback coming in from Ame though. Can he come in? Can he deal with first strike for challenge to X-Nova? He's gonna be left fed to Ana and Thompson.
No Tail about to burn out, but
oh, No Tail almost dying there. The press of the attack helps him though.
and all the buybacks filtering through. And I'm not gonna lie, Thompson does so much damage.
Dude, Thompson does so much damage, and he doesn't even have the 25 talent yet.
I can't believe Ame died to that. Roshan's getting really low. We talked about how important this was.
The volley's up, they're gonna throw it in, but it's gonna be too late to be able to claim Roshan at least. So LGD gonna have to do another one of their famed high ground defenses.
OG just figures it out. They find a way, they dig deep. They figure out a way to win. Look at the net worth and the XP slowly start to climb back in their favor. I figured for sure PSG.LGD's lineup would be stronger at this point, but OG are just out fighting them. Their use of the buybacks feel a little bit better.
And it all starts with Eric's, right? He gets the telekinesis, the follow-up Ravage, then they solar craft the hit him with the big anchor smash.
Yeah, this is just one team outplaying another at this point. This should be where PSG.LGD is stronger. OG is just
Gonna be like an opening here, trying to jump onto Ana, force something out, first strike out for the duel. Immediately used onto Tiny. Saw this. Is there a save? There's no. No, there's no shatter here. Chalice is gonna go down to back. Chalice is dead. They far back. Ame, he's now here, breaking Ana. No BKB for him, but he does have cheese. Oh, and the other. They're gonna try to finish off Hotel. He died. Immediately bites back. Ana fighting up against Ame. Ame with the shadow dance though. Cheese immediately pop. They're gonna try and bat themselves away, playing the high ground again. OG. Will they assault the base again? Or will they just play it slow?
I think they should heal up it again. They've got Ravage in 20 seconds. They've got Aegis. I think Thompson's just going back for mana, and they're going to go for it again. There's no buyback on a lot of these heroes on the side of PSG.LGD. All it's going to take is one more swing, one successful team fight, and OG will have won and secured themselves a top 2 finish in this TI.
250 damage up the top, and he's got Ravage. He can play the front line now. He can be the one hitting the tower if they want.
Ana doesn't have buyback himself, but you're just going to allow Thompson to swing away at this tower. Ame looking for an opening, gonna go in.
He's actually so low already, but he lets loose the Wrath. Are they going to be able to follow up the disruption? Talon's going to be able to intercept, making sure the Steph doesn't manage to force after one as well, but they're going in for the Megas right now. They still have a rack up in top lane, so this is not Megas by itself. Solid, trying to finish off Thompson. Maybe going to be just one bit. They spot him out for a moment. He almost dies with a Shattering Dance plus the BKB. He's going to be able to get away. Unstable concoction, disrupt himself. He does. Thompson, though, making his way up to top lane. Has to force half away. FY in danger of that anchor smash. The finishing blow. OG all in. One last chance to make their way to the grand finals here. Get those Megas. But don't lose your lives for it, as they do not have buyback. They don't have the Ravage anymore. Can they get this range barracks? Can they get the Megas? And can they get out afterwards? PSG.LGD.
They're going to have to do this 4-on-5. No buybacks.
Disruption leading to the top, trying to get those illusions, stomp into the backline. Doesn't hit anything, and immediately Chemical Rage. That's going to be Megas. PSG.LGD will try and hold against Mega Creeps.
OG, they might not be done yet.
LGD is saying, if we can just draw this out a little bit longer, maybe we can win, but OG may not give this the chance. Mega Creeps isn't good enough for this team. They're going to go for the tier 4s, and will this be the blow that ends the game? Will it be the way that they get to the grand finals, or will this be their fatal mistake? One tier 4 down to break on the chairs, immediately disruption going out. Ame, he's been disrupted, his illusions trying to stay away from those. He's going to go for top sticker. BKB activated, Soul Catcher on hand, Rusty Tango, helping him out first splitter. Oh, but they caught Ame, he's dead for 2 minutes. The volley's coming in, but it's not good enough. Now, the physical damage will overrun the throne at PSG.LGD in a 3 versus 5 can no longer hold. OG in the upper finals, break down LGD, going to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row.
They will have the opportunity to defend their throne. If you come at the keys, you best not miss.
OG have done it again. Absolutely unprecedented.
The most stacked TI field that we've ever seen. Probably the best top 4 that we've ever seen. And they're still gonna do it.
unbelievable, especially with what a great way to start this series too. LGD taking the win in somewhat of a tight game. The crowd backing him, but OG come back twice.
They don't
with
care.
the Alchemist, and they don't care about the crowd.
They won. Oh my Lord, I can't believe they get the opportunity to defend. That is incredible. You can see the relief and the happiness. So many doubters.
How have they done it?
It was a fluke. They just sort of
again.
like lapsed their way in.
2 flukes in a row. OG is something else. And the crowd, they will give their due.
Or maybe this is just honestly the best team in Dota. Who knows?
They're certainly the best team in this tournament right now. What an unbelievable race from OG, winning it 2-1.
A fluke. A fluke. You cannot call it a fluke anymore as we see OG make their way to another grand final. And we're going to take a look into the coach's room of OG when they actually see it happen. Such a huge achievement, and the question is, will they actually get an achievement that no one has gotten before? Will they not only win 2 TIs, will they win back-to-back TIs? I mean, we're really staring at that potential right now. If you were gonna pick a team to take them down, would it be LGD? Is that rematch happening in the grand final? Do you think that that's the best chance they have of being dethroned?
It feels, I mean, LGD, right? They took a game in this series and then they got Chen out twice in a row, and it feels like, you know, they thought they had this counter, and I could definitely see them coming back through the losers bracket and being the grand finals opponent, like 100%.
You lose to Alk, you play next game, you don't ban Alk,
Yeah.
profit, right?
Okay, so why does that happen?
Sometimes the captains and the coaches are just stubborn. They think they can counter it. In the end, it didn't happen.
It's the evil you know, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the thing that you're going for there, because that was one of the first things that caught my ear. And obviously, I have like probably the second lowest MR out of all the casters.
Yeah, sorry,
and I'm hearing this interview, and you see the out go there, you see the out go through, and you're just like, wait, why? And the coach says, okay, we're gonna let the out go through. We have a plan for it. We're gonna try to shut it down. Out seems to be one of the names that we're going to be saying consistently. Like Alk and Ensh are the two that jump off the page to me as just being the nuts.
It feels like every time we bring up this point of, well, better to fight the enemy, you know, it's because we're talking about someone who just lost to that, right? People have tried to fight the IO. They've tried to fight the AO. Has it looked good?
No.
No, not really.
Nothing ever looks
guys,
good.
How do you fight them? I mean, they banned out that AA. I can see that maybe working. Even that's not a surefire victory versus someone like the Alchemist.
But let's do some quick math, right?
Okay.
Oh, I love
Quick
math.
and
All
correct.
my
So
fingers.
stacking minus armor, AoE gush with the Aghanim Scepter talent, 7 plus
you want
5
the 7?
talent, that's 12.
Oh,
so
wait, you hold up 10. I get the 2.
we need more fingers.
We're at
Plus 12, that's 24, and
Wait.
plus 7 from acid spray.
Hey,
that's
you know what?
31. 31.
With all of that, I only need one finger. You know why?
All right.
Because we're throwing it over to Casey.